Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday night, Canada Startup with Bill Wilson. How are you doing today, Bill?
Doing well, thanks, Dave. How are you?
Fantastic. This is Dave Rogers, and we get together on Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about financial literacy, mental wellness, and social entrepreneurship. And this week, we've got a special show talking about a company that Bill has been investigating for the last few months and started using and now is a partner of. And the company is Shopify.
Shopify.
And Bill, today's topic is 5 reasons why you picked Shopify to build your online business. And we're talking today to people and sharing some of Bill's learnings about Shopify, how he's using it. We welcome any questions that you might have. You might be visiting us on Facebook Live. If you're watching us on YouTube, Continual Shift, or if you're listening to Lead Pedal Radio, these are the partners that we're currently working with. Bill and I are looking at partnerships, collaborations, but we also want to encourage people to discuss them, to explore them, perhaps ask questions. So today, Bill, 5 reasons why you picked Shopify, and the number 1 reason was the intuitive guidance system, the teaching. Like, you've really enjoyed the teaching experience with Shopify. Please tell us more.
Yeah, I think that's so important. For a lot of people that are, considering guys our age, trying to get out there and figure out some of this stuff, I feel more comfortable being able to access something that I can either read, so they have text documents, and they also have videos. I'm finding I can learn more visually now than I have, say, in the past. So I really enjoy that. And it's nice to be able to have that it's sort of a 1 or 2 clicks away, and you can get your answers. There's a progression to things, which I like. You start out at point A and move to point B and so on. And I also find that every time you complete something, there's that feeling of satisfaction. Hey, you know what? I took another step forward today, and so on and so forth. And they're very simple. It's very easy to read, easy to understand. And that was a huge thing, because if you're not a technical person, if you're not into the whole, doing the coding and all the hard work that goes into building a website, you can still do it, because these videos will teach you everything. The sessions they have, single videos, individual videos. They also have courses. It's really good. And then they have dedicated channels just to learning with Shopify. So very impressive. Definitely a very important factor when it came down to the choice.
One of the things that the president, Mr. Harley Finkelstein, talks about is they really look at providing the full resources to entrepreneurs. They're looking to equip entrepreneurs with the latest and greatest tools, yet also learning. And so he'll be quite happy to see and hear that you've really been enjoying the learning facilities, the interactive. I understand they even call people up to follow up with people. And they've really created a high-touch environment at Shopify. And you being somebody who's, I think for our generation, you're quite tech-savvy. You're definitely curious. For somebody who might not be as tech-savvy, any tips for them to use the library and the facilities effectively?
Well, one of the things I found when you go into their libraries, you can, whatever question you're thinking in your head or you've written down, if you just type it in as though you're doing a Google search, you'll find some sort of document to at least get you started. And you may find, you have to read a couple of things and then you'll be able to refine exactly what you want. I know when I'm starting out, like when I was starting out brand new at this, some of the terms that I had used weren't necessarily what they used in their documentation. But after reading 1 or 2, okay, I got a bit clearer picture now. I redid my question, and so on and so forth. And now I found very comforting, very easy to get along with. I didn't have to know a lot of technical jargon or anything like that. It was just everyday conversation, and I found all my answers.
And that's, again, a tip for all of the over 40-year-olds in the crowd, is just using Google or YouTube search. These days, anyone who's under 20, immediately they go and just search it and they find out the answers. For us, I think we've been trained in a different way. Yet I really like what you say. encouraging people to ask questions, to be curious is definitely something really useful to engage with Shopify. Number two, you talked about building a website. They've actually providing step-by-step process. Share a little bit about the ease that it's been for you to build a website. Maybe even talk a little bit about the business that you've been building the website for and the collaboration.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like as far as the building side goes, you start out at step one, doing a bit of research, and then there'll be some sections on design, but more so just even to research your topic. So our topic, we're doing gift baskets for the retail and the business environment, and there's a bit of research there, making sure you get titles right, but even understanding what type of pictures to get. And it takes you through the whole progress, even setting up the look and the feel. So the background, the way everything looks, and it takes you through one step at a time. And that's what I like about it. You just go from, okay, here's session one, part A, go through, do that. And then before you know it, within a couple of sessions, you've got something that's looking like a website. And again, you don't have to be somebody that has studied computer coding or anything like that. You could be, a 75-year-old grandmother starting out, and you want to sell all your quilts and your knitting and stuff like that. And you can do that, and it doesn't. It's not overwhelming, I guess, is the big thing that I know that we encounter, and people older than us, you get overwhelmed by the technology, but I find it gets you through. And I think that's one of the things, like you were just mentioning earlier, Dave, the way we were trained and when we were brought up, it was always, if you couldn't find the answer, you went to the library. Well, this is sort of like a library that's right at the touch of your fingertips. And we were always given, if you got your new toy or your new model car or something at Christmas or whatever, or you get the box from IKEA, you open the package, you get the instructions out, and you start at A, B, C, and so forth like that. That's what's so nice about building this. It's built step by step, A, B, C, and it's not overwhelming.
That's great. And I guess what I'm inviting people to be curious with us today is that what can they possibly put on Shopify? And you've talked about gift baskets, you've talked about quilts, you've talked about, it can be crafts, it can be diaries. I know people have had 7-figure sales by creating diaries and journals. And then they've gone to the full other side where they're working with the top brands. They're working with the Under Armours and the different manufacturers that are having presence on the Shopify front. And it's quite overwhelming how well they've done. They've got over 1 million users now, and this is enabling social entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs to magnify and scale their business. Because yes, the next one, which you brought up as the third point that really has been great, is that they're using current technology, and they do have global leadership. When you talk, yes, I'm listening to Harley Finkelstein, and I'm going to put his link down below, because check him out, because he's a very inspiring and visionary leader who really wants to bring the technology to mom and pops all around the world. And then as you grow, he wants to grow with you. So share a little bit about the technology that might have surprised you, or things that they're doing that's quite innovative.
Well, I think even for me, on a simpler even way to look at it, looking again at our age group, we don't know the stuff. We're not current. We don't know the stuff. They do all that sort of thing for you. So when there's new coding that comes in, that's there for you. When there's new ways to create the design for your website, that's there for you. The nice thing I like about this is that I don't have to go and research and do all that stuff. They've done all the background, all the good hard stuff. And then it's just for me and Jackie to go in and decide, okay, do we want to do that or not? I'd rather have that decision than having to try and figure out to build it. And I think that's one of the things that would make a lot of people shy away, thinking, oh, I got to know how to build all this. I got to go know where to find all that. That's what's cool about Shopify. You don't need to do any of that stuff. They have it all there for you. And if it's not there yet, it's coming soon.
And this is the whole thing, is it really is from the starting perspective. They walk you through, they educate you, and then they allow you and invite you to make transactions. You can build up your community. You can create interactions. You can create campaigns. These are all included in the site. And I think the next key point you brought up was that they really have a good process of building trust and comfort from the trial subscriber to becoming a paid subscriber. Share a little bit about what that's been like specifically in your case.
That was something I really enjoyed. There's no hard sell. It's not like you put your email address in and have to pay right away and then you can start using the tools. You have a trial period. I believe we had 14 days. And it was fun because I was able to access everything. Well, for that point in the building stage, everything that I needed, I could access. And I was able to, test out all the teaching, all the video, all the resources, that sort of thing. And so I had 2 weeks of getting a comfort level with Shopify to see, is that something that we wanted to work with? Did they have good quality videos as far as, the resources for learning and that sort of thing? That was really good. So it gave 2 weeks of building that, getting to know them, getting to like them, and know, like, trust, right? And by the time the end of the 2 weeks, we were even ready before the 2 weeks were up to say, okay, we're going ahead with this. That's how comfortable we felt with it and how much we trusted it. So yeah, I would say maybe 9 or 10 days in, we were able to make a comfortable decision and then go forward.
Know, like, trust. Is that one of your mantras?
Yes. I say that a lot, but I think it works. It works on a lot of things. Get to know what you're dealing with. Make sure you like it, and then make sure it's something that I feel trusting with, and then move forward.
I'm just getting the page here for you. So this is the page that they basically invite you to explore. You have a free trial. You go and again, the decision for you and Jacqueline to do it and then coordinate. Did you guys like, okay, we got good time available for the next couple of days, we're going to jump into it? Was there some planning, or what did you do to really get started with it?
A lot of it was just trial, just play, just try things out, see what happens, see how easy it was to get started. There was no actual checklist or boxes or anything like that. We played around, started building things according to the way we were visualizing what we wanted to do for the site, and we just kept building. And next thing you know, we were starting to follow their steps. And like I said, about 9 days in, 10 days in, we're almost at the point where we've got a full-blown website happening. So, hey, this was pretty good.
And in fact, it's even led to some online sales. In fact, I believe it led to one of the biggest sales you did. It was actually a wholesale sale that came from Shopify. Like, that was pretty amazing.
Yes, and it was fairly, once we got launched, and just spreading the word out, word of mouth type of thing. Once people were able to see that there was a website there and you could actually place your orders, that creates a level of trust with the end user. And as we were telling them Shopify, the Shopify name even goes, well, it goes huge, how far it goes as far as credibility and trust and that sort of thing. So that really helps.
And then number 5, the one that is something we can discuss a little bit deeper, is it really works to assist you to monetize and grow the shopping cart to go global. Share a little bit about what you've experienced so far, and maybe even some of the areas that you might be able to grow, or Shopify might be able to assist you to grow.
So one of the big challenges doing research ahead of time was figuring out and understanding shopping carts. And for most of the other solutions, when we were looking at things, it always seemed to be you had to get part A and then go find part B. Well, that was one of the cool things about Shopify. It's all together. And the shopping cart, that's where your money goes. Ultimately, that's where the end user is paying, and then ultimately it transfers into your bank account. So you want to make sure that's something that's fairly straightforward, and it's not too elaborate or something that you don't really understand. So we were able to go through that. We were able to get it all set up. We were able to, now for our first choice, or for where we are right now, we've been able just to set up everything locally so that we're only dealing within Canada. We do have the capability, though, that we could expand and start dealing globally. And that's a huge thing in with the cart there, because you can just go in and enable all the different tax that you have to charge for the different countries. So that was a huge thing. And then, you know, they're always upgrading, and then you've also got the security side of everything that they're dealing with. You know, less things for us to worry about, so we can focus on, you know, creating good customers and getting them really good quality products.
And this is like startling numbers. If people are new to Shopify, we're talking 2.5 billion orders, 100 billion in sales covered or dealt with, and 300 million customers who use Shopify checkout. And so you would say that they've put in the hard yards to improve the system, to build the system, and you've been asked to come in and utilize this built for you process and system. A little bit more on the monetization and growing is that they've even been delving into financing companies' inventory. They're going to work with you to help you grow your business. They might actually be able to provide some types of funding, but also even venture capital. They've started a venture capital arm where they're now taking percentages of businesses, but they're not doing it in a hijacking way. They're really doing it as you said, that building the trust, the comfort, and to like the process. What else would you like to share about the shopping cart and going global? And like this now, you could be selling gift baskets all around the world, but you're focusing on Canada. Is that the plan, is to build out perhaps in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, and then expand Ontario and other parts of Canada? Or what is the plan?
The plan would be pretty much what you said. We want to start local. So working within the Greater Toronto area, expanding from there, focusing a lot on in Ontario, and then slowly expand from there. I'm not too sure about global expansion or anything like that. One step at a time. The part that you just talked about, though, the funding, though, that's a huge thing I think, for any business, if they can keep everything in the same family, so to speak, and they're going to help you, and essentially you're helping Shopify by being a regular customer, and they're helping you. The more business that you can do, the more products of Shopify that you'll invest in. So I like that part. What else? The tax thing was pretty big. Oh, the cart. The other thing that's pretty cool about the cart is being able to set up your shipping. That was the other thing. So, instead of having to, you can set up whether you can have pickup, like if somebody can do pickup, especially now with the way things have been going, right? Do you do deliveries? How quickly deliveries go? You can set up and configure all that sort of thing just by ticking off a box here and there. So that's pretty cool too.
And you were talking a little bit about the tax. What does that do? Does it actually give you tax advice, tax guidance? Is that the GST, the government sales tax, or in what way does Shopify assist you with tax?
You can tick off all the different countries that you're going to be selling to, and then it sets up the appropriate charge that the customer will see in their checkout. I haven't researched enough into it to comment about what they would recommend for worldwide stuff. Everything, though, that we needed for like Ontario and that sort of thing was there that we needed. So we were really happy with that.
Well, you've given a great list here. Number 5, I'm just going to go through the list here for our viewers and actually invite anybody that's got another comment that you've really enjoyed the benefits. So number 5 is to monetize and grow, really helping with the shopping cart. Number 4, we got trust and comfort from trial to subscriber. To number 3, utilizing technology. And I think one of the comments you had was we often don't know what we don't know. And it's nice to have someone like Shopify tell us what we need to know and then show us how to use it. And then we've got building the website. You've actually been able to create a website where it's got sales, even though you haven't officially launched your website. And maybe we'll do a launch party in the coming weeks. That could be fun. And then you've got the whole teaching component, the learning component, the growing component. So that's fantastic. Is there any last little bonus that you'd like to add? I've got a bonus back and forth with you, but maybe have you hear those 5 again? Is there something else that you've really enjoyed with your Shopify experience?
I think especially for now, being able to, so Jackie and I can be in the site at the same time, and we can work. She can work from home. I can work from home. And we can work on putting together, say, new images to go up for a product, or entering in a blog entry, or even adding a whole new section to the site. We can do that and be in it, and so we can collaborate at the same time, instead of having to do stuff through emails or through another app. We can do everything right in there. So that's been really handy, really time saving. We can see stuff and you just do a quick refresh and you can see what's happened right there. We can put in, we can give each other feedback, and then we can move on. So that's a great time saver.
Fantastic. Well, the last little section that I wanted to share was a little bit about you now as a user, a fan. What would be the next step to perhaps start or develop with Shopify?
Oh, my next step is to buy some stock.
All right. So let's do a little look at the stock, and that might be a fun thing to do. So we'll take a look at the 5-year chart, if we can call that up. 5 years. Are you interested to see what it looks like after 5 years, Bill?
Oh, definitely.
So let's call that up. This is the 5-year chart for... There we go. How does that look?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So there you go. It's had quite a run. It's
yes.
An amazing company. Some of the information I had prepared for you is we're going to explore the valuation of Shopify.to. The 52-week range, Bill, is $1,109 to $2,075 in the last 52 weeks.
Yeah.
And currently it is trading at 1,900. So it's pretty much at its high. It's yearly, pretty close to its yearly high. Yet it has some startling figures here that I wanted to share with you. Is its capitalization today is $238 billion, and that's versus the Royal Bank at $185 billion.
Oh, wow.
So it's a quarter bigger than the Royal Bank. And it has a very high PE, price earnings ratio, which is at 78. Yet what it's done is it's grown into that, because it used to not have a PE ratio because they didn't have any earnings. They had a lot of sales, yet they've just recently become profitable and now have a very high PE ratio. Now, if we were talking about this 6 months ago, you might have pulled back a little bit, because $1,900 for one share, that might be a little intimidating for most people. Yet one of the things that we've observed in the last couple of months is that our friends at Wealthsimple now allow you to buy companies like Shopify and buy a fractional share. So you could buy $100 worth. You could buy $200 worth, and you can just get your involvement with them, and you shift from being just a user. You're not only a user, now you become an owner of Shopify. And how do you think that will make you feel? Any thoughts? Or did we lose you?
Oh, sorry. No, I just got blasted here. No, I mean, it definitely pumps you up, because you know, the more you work on the thing, I'm working on something that I'm an owner of. It's definitely something that's going to get you pumped up. That's for sure.
Very good. Well, it's been a ride. I've been an investor now in Shopify for about 3 years, and
Okay.
it is something when it goes to like 2,000 and then back down to like 1,500 and 1,400, and it's just and then it just recently came back up to 1,900, and it's hovering around the highs, and it might reach there in the next couple of months. That's one of the things that they're posting, just phenomenal results. They're growing. They're doing so much more because by getting into the whole finance side, they
Right.
become a virtual bank, they become a virtual funder, they become a virtual partner, investor, venture capitalist, and the sky's the limit because they really do have innovative leadership with Harley Finkelstein and his team. And I have a feeling that this video might even launch us into maybe having some conversations with them, and we'll see how that will develop next too.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep a watch on this. Because I'm feeling that, with the amount of sales they probably had over the last 18 months is probably crazy. But I think as more people recognize and realize the successes that they're going to have here, they might start to build a secondary store or a third store or something like that, right? So that, I've started out with one store, but you never know. Like I might start a hockey card store, or you and I might start a sporting goods store that we do online. It's once you get managing everything, and like we learned through your courses, we get people to do all that, and we manage everything. The next thing you know, they might have done, say, let's just keep the math simple. They do 1,000 stores now. Well, all those 1,000 people might buy a couple more. There's like a huge potential, I think.
Absolutely. I think you're spot on. And that's what's really great now that you've developed the skills on working on one store. The next store will likely be quite a bit easier, and you'll have some further tricks of the trade. So definitely let's continue to look at that. Let's continue to explore. I like the idea of the hockey cards. I've got my box over here. Maybe we'll talk about that. I might monetize that in the next 6 months. We'll take a look.
Yeah.
Again, it can leverage off of the NFTs. Big announcements today on the NFT markets, the non-fungible tokens, that DraftKings did their first launch of Tom Brady's NFTs.
Oh, wow.
And so they're moving big time into that whole arena. They just recently bought a company out of Canada. And actually, it was Penn who bought Score, and DraftKings bought Gnog. And so you're getting a consolidation in the online gambling and online gaming industry. And maybe we'll do a review of that in the coming weeks. We definitely welcome any questions and suggestions if you'd like to see a future topic discussed on Canada Startup. Definitely like to thank Canada Startup, Continual Shift. Please check us out on Continual Shift. Listen to us on Leaded Pedal Radio. With that, Bill, I'm pretty much bringing it to a completion. Is there any last comments or thoughts you'd like to have on this week of Canada Startup?
Well, I would say, like you mentioned earlier, be curious, and even if you try the 14-day trial on Shopify, check it out. You never know what might happen, but you have some time to check it out and feel comfortable, and be curious.
Very good. Great advice. Great suggestion. And folks, if you've got questions or comments, please let us know. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and we'll like to see you next week on Canada Startup next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, thank you very much, Bill. You have a great week ahead. Enjoy your hockey tonight.
All right. Thanks, Dave. We'll see you next week.